नमो देवा दामोदर अनंत विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभु दुख जलाग्निमग्न
नमो देवा दामोदर अनंत विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभु दुख जलाग्निमग्न
के प्रादिष्टि विस्याति दिनं बतानु Behane shama majami dakshi disya
Vamishti vishyati dinambatanu Behane shama majami dakshi disya
Kuveratma jaubadha mute vayatvat Tvayamojita bhakti bhajakrita ucha तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकं में प्रयाचा नमोक्ष ग्रहो में स्थित दामोदरे
तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकं में प्रयाचा नमोक्ष ग्रहो में स्थित दामोदरे
नमस्ते स्तुधाम्ने स्तुरदीप्ति धाम्ने त्वदीय धराय था विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमो राधिकाय त्वदीय प्रियाय नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्याम्
नमो राधिकाय त्वदीय प्रियाय नमो नन्दलीलाय देवाय तुभ्याम्
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 Bhakta Hanuman Jai Sitaram Lakshman Bhakta Hanuman Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Nitai 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 Gauranga Jai Sachinandana Jai Sachinandana Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hare Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Jai Jai Prabhupada 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada Jai Jai Gurudev 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 Jai Jai Gurudev
Tabadarastakam ki jai jai om Vishnupad Paramansa Parajika Tatarasatarasi Shri His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai Jai om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parajika Tatarasatarasi Shri His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki jai Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai Prem Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Samkunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai Mayapura Dham ki jai Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai Tulasi Devi ki jai Bhakti Devi ki jai Ganga Maya ki jai Jamuna Maya ki jai Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki jai Harinam Sankirtan ki jai Nitai Gaura Premananda. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. Glories to Shri Guru and Shri Guranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana ki jai.
Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Narasimha Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol भक्ति विघ्न विनाशक लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की
जय
प्रहलाद महाराज की
तुलसी देवी महारानी की जय वृंदाये तुलसी देवाय प्रियाये केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यव्रताय नमो नमः वृंदाये तुलसी देवाय प्रियाये केशवस्य च Bhakti Pradi Devi Satyvrataय Namo Namaha Vrindaye Tulsi Deva Priyaye Kishvasya Cha Vishnu Bhakti Pradi Devi Satyvrataय Namo Namaha तुलसी देवी महारानी की जय अक्षरा
Namo Namaha Tulasi Krishna Priyasi Namo Namaha Radha Krishna Seva Pavo पुर निज दासी दीन कृष्ण दास कोई न मोरा श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेम सदा लीला बासी यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणा पदे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणा पदे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणा पदे पदे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Satyavrataya Namo Namaha. Vishnu Bhakti Pradidevi Satyavrataya Namo Namaha. Indai Tulsidevai Priyaye Keshavashicha Vishnu Bhakti Pradidevi Satyavrataya Namo Namaha. O Tulasi, beloved of Krishna, I bow before you again and again. My desire is to obtain the service of Shri Shri Radha and Krishna. Whoever takes shelter of you has his wishes fulfilled. Bestowing your mercy upon him, you make him resident in Vrindavan. My desire is to also grant me residence in the pleasure groves of Shri Vrindavan and Dham. Thus within my vision I'll always behold the beautiful pastimes of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me a follower of the cowherd dances of Raja. Please give me the privilege of devotional service and make me your own maidservant. This very fallen and lowly servant of Krishna prays, may always swim in love with Shri Shri Radha and Govinda, Tulsi Devi Maharani Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Siksastakam Ki Jai. Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhavamaha Davagni Nirvapanam Sherat Kairavya Chandrika Vitaranam Vidya Vadahu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipradam Purnam Ritasvadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Anmamakari Bahuda Nicha Sarva Saktis Tatra Pitani Mitaksmarani Nakala Etadrisita Vakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivam Jisamiha Janina Luraga Trinada Pisuni Chena Tarurapi Saisnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Va Jagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmanishware Avatat Bhakti Haiti Twai Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Babam Buddho Kripaya Tava Padapankajastita Tulisat Visam Vichintaya Nayanam Gadasrudharaya Vadanam Gadyaturudaya Jira Pulakad Sitam Vapu Kada Tavanamagrahane Bhavishyati Yugayitam Nimesena Chakshusapa Vrisayitam Sunyayitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahena Me Aslishyavav Padaratam Pinastumam Adasaranam Mamahato Purotuva Kirta Tata Bhavidadatu Lampato Matprananatas Tusaiva Naparaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Chaitanya Siksastakam Ki Jai. Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings. And thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw on the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I've fallen into this ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. O my Lord, when my eyes be decorated with tears of love, flowing constantly when I chant your holy name. When will my voice choke up? When will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your holy name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Siksastakam Ki Jai. There are 10 offenses in the matter of chanting holy names of the Lord that should be avoided, and they are as follows. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who dedicate their lives to propagating the holy names of the Lord. 2. To consider names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to independent names of Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna as imagination. 6. To give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of chanting the holy name of the Lord. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruit of activities of karma conduct. 9. To instruct the faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names, and to maintain material attachments, even after understanding so many instructions in this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Now let us offer our most humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just like desire trees that can fulfill their desires very much, and they are full of compassion to fall into the Srimad Bhagavatam Grantaraj Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadasya Yata Nivayad Itaratascha Te Suravigyaswarat. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adhikavaye Muyanti Yatsurayaha. Tejo Varimridam Yata Vinimaya Trisargo Misha. Yatra Trisargo Misha. Damna Svena Sadas. Damna Svena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dimahi. O my Lord Shri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Shri Krishna because he is the absolute truth and the primeval cause of all causes, of the creation, sustenance, and destruction of the manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations. And he is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion, as one is bewildered by the illusory representations of water seen on fire or land seen on water. Only because of him do the material universes temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of nature, appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Shri Krishna, who is eternally existent in the transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representations of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth. Dharma Pujita Kaitavotra Paramo Nirmatsaranam Satam Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu Shivadam Tapa Trayon Mulanam Shrimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kim Vaparer Ishwaraha Sadyo Hridaya Vurudyate Cha Krite Bihi Sususabhistakshanat. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated. This Bhagavata Purana propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity, is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart. Nigama kalpatarur galitam phalam Sukha mukad amrita Sukha mukam amrita dravya samyutam Pibata bhagavatam rasam alayam Muhur aho rasika bhuvi bhavakaha. O expert and thoughtful men, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desire tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Sri Sukadeva Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful. Although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7, verse number 37. A cruel and wretched person who maintains his existence at the cost of others' lives deserves to be killed for his own well-being. Otherwise, he will go down by his own actions. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. A life for a life is just punishment for a person who cruelly and shamelessly lives at the cost of another's life. Political morality is to punish a person by a death sentence in order to save a cruel person from going to hell. That a murderer is condemned to a death sentence by the state is good for the culprit, because in his next life he will not have to suffer for his act of murder. Such a death sentence for the murderer is the lowest possible punishment offered to him, and it is said in the Smriti Shastras that men who are punished by the king on the principle of a life for a life are purified of all their sins, so much so that they may be eligible for being promoted to the planets of heaven. According to Manu, the great author of civic codes and religious principles, even the killer of an animal is to be considered a murderer, because animal food is never meant for the civilized man, whose prime duty is to prepare himself for going back to Godhead. He says that in the act of killing an animal, there is a regular conspiracy by the party of sinners, and all of them are liable to be punished as murderers, exactly like a party of conspirators who kill a human being combinedly. He who gives permission, he who kills the animal, he who sells the slaughtered animal, he who cooks the animal, he who administers distribution of the foodstuff, and at last he who eats such cooked animal food are all murderers, and all of them are liable to be punished by the laws of karma, laws of nature. No one can create a living being despite all advancement of material science, and therefore no one has the right to kill a living being by one's independent whims. For the animal eaters, the scriptures have sanctioned restricted animal sacrifices only. And such sanctions are there just to restrict the opening of slaughterhouses and not to encourage animal killing. The procedure under which animal sacrifice is allowed in the scriptures is good both for the animal sacrifice and the animal eaters. It is good for the animal in the sense that the sacrificed animal is at once promoted to the human form of life after being sacrificed at the altar, and the animal eater is saved from grosser types of sins, for example, eating meats supplied by organized slaughterhouses, which are ghastly places for breeding all kinds of material afflictions to society, country, and the people in general. The material world is itself a place always full of anxieties, and by encouraging animal slaughter, the whole atmosphere becomes polluted more and more by war, pestilence, famine, and many other unwanted calamities. So now, what are you going to do when you see your friends at school eating meat? What do you think? Huh? Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to stick around with them, otherwise their karma will stick around on you. Right. Actually, look what's being said here. The person who kills the animal, the person who cooks the animal, the person who sells the slaughtered animal, the person who distributes the foodstuff, and at last he who eats such cooked food are all murderers. And all of them are liable to be punished by the laws of nature. So those nice ladies who are putting the meat on the plate and offering to the kids in the school, they're also going to hell. They say, wait a minute, I didn't kill anybody. No, but you, according to Manu Samhita, you're just as guilty as the killer. You're also a murderer. So there's 7 types of murderers here. That's why meat is something you shouldn't touch, shouldn't even look at. It's a very dangerous substance. Yeah.
I remember when they say they're eating meat, they tell me that they're like, it's already dead, so technically they're not
Right. So now you can quote this. I'll print this out for you. You don't have to tell them. You just show it to them. They'll look at what? You know. So you see, there is so much ignorance in society today, and because of that, you have war, you have violence, you have famine, you have earthquakes, you have pestilence. And pestilence, it's like, AIDS and things like that, these strange diseases. And people are suffering because of all these things, and they don't understand why. And if you say it's because of media, you say, oh, no, that's simplistic. That's too simplistic. It's not simplistic. If it's in the Manu Samhita in extreme detail like this, it means it's a very, very dangerous thing that we should stay away from it in all means. Okay, so, and the point is that because we can't create a living entity, despite, as Prabhupada says, all material advancement and science, Therefore, no one has the right to kill a living being by one's independent whims. Now, in previous ages, because there were highly qualified brahmanas who knew how to say the Vedic mantras correctly, they were allowed to kill an animal, like a cow or a horse, or even a human being, and offer it into the fire of sacrifice, holding on, like say, to the tail of the cow or the horse, and they could pull it back out, a rejuvenated calf. In other words, if you kill someone and you have the power to bring him back to life, then you can kill someone. But if you kill someone, you can't bring him back to life. You have no right to kill them, or someone or something. So there's a history of Harishchandra. He was a king. He has a lot of stories, but this is just one aspect of his pastimes. He was a king, and his son was destined to die, an early death. And when he found out about it, he asked his guru, Vasishtha Muni, is there any way you could save his son's life? And the guru had said, yes, if you can get another boy at his age and sacrifice him, you can save your son. So he went around, the king, of course, he knew everybody. He ran around and he found a very poor brahmana who had sons. And he offered money and basically told him, this is your patriotic duty, give me one of your sons so I can save my son. And the poor brahmana did it. So they prepared the boy for sacrifice. And there was always a competition between Vasishtha Muni and Vishwamrita Muni. When Vishwamrita Muni heard about this, he decided to do something. So he goes and he asks to see the boy that's going to be sacrificed. And he teaches him a mantra. And he says, when they put you in the fire, just meditate on this mantra, or repeat this mantra. So they prepared the boy, they bathed him, they put a white cloth on him, they put tilak, whatever they did to him to prepare him for sacrifice. And the priests offered the boy into the fire, and the boy followed Vishwamrita Muni's advice. And even though they put him in the fire, even his dhoti didn't burn. And eventually, they realized that there was some miracle happening here, and they let the boy come out of the fire. And then there was a big dilemma, because the question was, this was a young boy, he was only a few years old, and the question was, who does he belong to? So the Brahmins began to discuss this, and they said, well, he has a father. And then they said, no, the father sold the boy. He's no longer, how can the father sell? If he sells the boy, it means he's no longer the father. So then they said, well, it belongs to Harishchandra. He bought the boy. They said, what? How can it belong to him? He tried to kill the boy. So they gave the boy to Vishwamrita Muni because he saved his life. So this is a very instructive story. It's a factual story because whoever is going to save your life eternally, that is your real parent or father or mother. So, therefore, we should always be thinking how we can get out of this terrible dilemma of birth, death, old age, and disease. And the only way is by having the mercy of genuine devotees who give us the knowledge by which we can save ourselves from unnecessary trouble and ultimate death and rebirth. So that is actually the purpose of human life, is to find those persons, they can be your parents, they can be other persons, who are going to give you the knowledge by which you can free yourself from the cycle of birth and death. And if you can do that, then you can help others also. So here Prabhupada says, for the animal eaters, the scriptures have sanctioned restricted animal sacrifices only, and such sanctions are there just to restrict the opening of slaughterhouses and not to encourage animal killing. So if a person goes into Safeway or Fred Meyer and buys a piece of meat, and they're nicely wrapped with cellophane, they're like red, fire engine red, By the way, if you killed a deer and you cut it open out in the wild, in a couple hours, the red meat would turn gray. You know why? You know why, Prabhu? Why it turns gray? It oxidizes. Now, the question is, how is it possible that the meat in the Safeway or all these stores, aside from chicken or fish, how is it possible that it's always fire engine red? When after a couple of hours exposed to the air, it turns gray. I mean, would they buy the meat if it was all gray? No way, right? So what do they do to it to keep it red like that? Well, you might say, well, they try and keep it away from oxygen. No, not only that. They embalm it. They embalm the dead body with chemicals. So not only you're eating dead meat, you're also eating all those chemicals that keep it from turning gray. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to sell the meat. So this meat eating is a very dangerous thing. That's why, but actually, it's a godsend for the hospitals, the doctors, and the pharmaceutical companies, because people are getting sick all the time by eating meat, and no one's telling them to stop. Maybe a few people say you should stop, but it hasn't stopped the meat eating, and therefore the pharmaceutical companies, the hospitals, the doctors, they're making a lot of money. Okay, so then Prabhupada says, the procedure under which animal sacrifice is allowed in the scriptures, it's good both for the animal sacrifice and the animal eaters. So what is that procedure? If you go to Bengal, you'll see there's a lot of black goats in the farms and the villages. And why? Because according to the Vedas, if you insist on eating meat, you can sacrifice one black goat a month on a full moon night. You have to say a mantra, and you have to kill it. No one can slaughter it for you. And you have to, bleed it, take out its guts and stool and all that stuff. But you have to say a mantra, and that is that now I am killing you, my dear brother, and in the next life you will kill me in the same way. Now, why is that good for the killer? Because he or she recognizes that in the next life they're going to be killed in the same way, slaughtered. So if you understand what you're saying, at one point you become a little sober. You say, wait a minute, why am I doing this? This is crazy. I'm going to get killed in the same way? I better not do this. So there's a possibility for the meat eater to give it up. But if you just walk in a Safeway, buy a piece of meat, and everybody's smiling at you, and you're smiling, and they say, oh, you're lucky you're getting a sirloin steak. And they're encouraging you. No one is saying there's something wrong with this. So this is how dangerous the society has become. They take something horrible and claim it's good for you. Yeah, you get a lot of protein. By the way, it's secondary protein. The cow that ate hay, the cow is a vegetarian. The strongest animal in the world, the elephant, is a vegetarian. So how is it that they get protein? And they get it from grains and grasses. So therefore, animal protein is a secondary protein. The primary protein is coming from grains, lentils, and certain types of grasses. So anyway, the whole enterprise of meat eating is horrible from beginning to end, and we shouldn't have anything to do with it. And we should be very careful going to restaurants outside, because many of the Indian restaurants say, oh, veg, we have veg offerings. That means they're cooking meat also. And oftentimes they cook meat in the same pots that they cook the vegetables in. So whenever you go to a mixed restaurant, it's impossible to avoid sinful activity. And even if you go to a good restaurant where there's no meat at all, they're just a vegetarian restaurant, but now it depends on the consciousness of the person. What if the person who's making that vegetarian dish is a meat eater? You see? Again, it's problematic. So the best thing is stay at home with good old mom and dad and have nice prasadam. and learn yourself how to make prasadam, and then learn to. By the way, are you taking the sweet rice to school? How are the students liking it? What?
I gave it to one of my friends. He said it was pretty good. I had the other kid.
Oh, wait a minute. You gave it to one friend. He said it was good. You gave it to someone else who didn't like it? Is that?
No. I gave it to my best friend, and he said it was pretty good.
Oh.
And then I had the other kid.
Then the other kids, what did they say?
No, I had the other kid.
Oh, you had the other one. So every day you're eating one and you're giving one to your best friend, and he says it's good.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the way you can you can preach in schools. See, if you want it to be a school and not a school, then you take prasadam every day, like sweet rice. You can get the sweet rice downstairs and give it. Okay, you're giving it to a friend, but you can get better at it and start giving it to strangers in school. The more they say they like it, the more spiritual advancement they're making. It's called agyata sukriti. They're making imperceptible advancement. They don't know what it is. As long as they like it, that means they're being benefited by it. So every kid, all the kiddies, can also preach by distributing prasadam in your schools. And you should do it. You want to actually be a preacher. That's one way of preaching, is by distributing prasadam. I remember in the 1960s, there was this great explosion of LSD. And at that time, because we were all in ignorance, we were thinking, if we can give LSD to someone, and that'll awaken them. They'll see a new reality, right? And then oftentimes, it led to catastrophes. But then, when I learned about prasadam, then I realized, wait a minute, this is better than LSD. Because with LSD, you just go up and then you come down again and you get devastated. But with prasadam, you just go up, 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 you never come down. You go back to Godhead. So the real blessing is to distribute prasadam. If you have faith in it, and if it's been prepared with love and devotion, it's a miraculous substance. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So why don't you give it to more people besides your friend?
I'll give it to him.
Are you embarrassed?
No.
You have a good thing, right? You can't lose with a good thing. You can only win. Haribol. So you're going to do it too? Huh? What? Okay. Didn't sound like a strong okay. Huh? Okay. How about you, Prabhu? You want to try? Okay. Well, you can get it now. Well, there's no school today. Right? Well, you can get one for yourself. Try it out. Make sure it's okay. Haribol. You know where the word okay came from? It was from Chief Geronimo, an Indian. The Americans were trying to make a peace treaty with him. And they said, so, what do you say, Chief? He said, okay. That's not a word in English. It came into the language because of him. Haribol. Srila Prabhupada. So today is our festival. We need many volunteers. I have 5 groups. I need at least 5 volunteers.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sanma. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sanma. Bandhu Mui Savana Namate. Bandhu Mui Savana Mate. Jara prasane mai e bhavatori jai. Krishna prapti hoy jaite. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitate Koriya Kya. Arana Koriyo Mane Asha. Arana Koriyo Mane Asha. Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati. Jai Prasad Pure Sarvasha. Chakudan dilo je janme janme Prabhu se. Chakudan dilo je janme janme Prabhu se. Divya gyan rinde prakashito. Divya gyan rinde prakashito. Prema bhakti jaha hote avidya vinasa jate. Prema bhakti jaha hote avidya vinasa jate. Veda gai jahara charito. lokena nirvana. Lokanath, lokena nirvana. Ha Prabhu karo daya deho more pada jaya. Ha Prabhu karo daya deho more pada jaya. Eme jasa gushu tribhuvana. Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana.